Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with meteorologist Cameron Landfield.
Good morning, everybody, and happy Thursday. Today is not nearly as exciting as yesterday, but there still is active weather on the way, and it's very obvious as to why that's the case if we bring up the satellite imagery once again. There it is, that big spiral out there. That is our weather maker for the next several days. Big low pressure zone, that's what caused yesterday's intensity, but obviously today is not going to be as intense. We don't have the huge temperature change and not nearly as much convection. So basically just a couple waves of rainfall come through for today, and then as we get into the evening you'll see more consistent rain. That's what the next few days are going to look like too. There is still some intensity happening up towards our northern neighbor, but not for us today. It's all passed out of the area, so mostly just rainfall. But still, this is a pretty powerful storm system that's just going to be sitting there for the next few days. So rainfall is definitely going to be the worst of our concerns for today, and here's what the numbers look like for our total accumulations through today. About a half an inch on average over the valley. Over the coast, it's a little bit closer to an inch, and Coos Bay is actually the winner for today. Usually Newport is. Roseburg is not going to be seeing nearly as much rainfall as elsewhere. We are going to see some snowfall picking up out over the mountains starting this evening as well, but as everybody is starting off just sort of damp, the same thing is out over the mountains as well. Now, the Stormcast will show you just what I'm talking about with these waves of energy coming through. We're looking at 5:30 here, so just in the next about 10 minutes, we've got a little bit of activity down towards Coos Bay. As we move into 7 o'clock, you can see more of the first wave appearing out over the water. Doesn't really affect us yet, but as we get into 8:30, it gets a little bit closer. Still some activity on the southern coast, and by 10 a.m. now we've got full cloud coverage everywhere, but still not quite rainy yet. Closer to 12 o'clock is when we see that actual impact of that wave of rainfall. And then from 12 o'clock forward is where the consistent rainfall continues. 2 o'clock and still overhead. A little bit heavier up towards the northern coast at that point. 3:30, still more of that overhead, of course. But this is when we start to see the snow starting to develop over the mountains, too. That pink and blue develops. 5 o'clock, and we've got a little bit of another wave that comes through, a little bit heavier for the foothills. But other than that, basically just consistent rainfall through the rest of the evening. In addition to the rainfall, though, we also are going to have some pretty whipping winds for today. So here's what you can see for our top wind speeds. Everybody is below 40 miles an hour, but still, it is going to be a relatively active wind day. 7-day forecast will show you it's just wet for the next 7 days moving forward now, and we stay close to the mid-50s, a lot more average than what we've been seeing. Umpqua Basin looking similar, hitting about 58 for today. The next dry day is likely Saturday, but still there's chances of rain. Cascade Passes switch the rainfall for snow and stay closer to the mid to high 30s. Willamette Valley looking at 58 for today. Once again, about 7 more wet days in a row. The highest likelihood to stay dry is Saturday into Sunday morning.